extremely popular. You refer to yourself as the first lady of, you know, sneaker summit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we all know that sneakers is a male-dominated industry.
Yes.
And so you're a woman in this industry.
Yeah.
How do you, and I see you got your sneakers on today,
absolutely.
you have the heels on. How do you stay relevant? How do you stay up to date? How do you keep yourself like at the top of this male-dominated industry?
Right. It's tough. I'm not gonna lie. Working with men, all men, is extremely hard. And sometimes all white men is also extremely hard because, you know, we get that stereotype, the loud black girl, and I am loud, and so it's like, damn, I don't want everyone to, and I go through this, and this is a daily struggle, so I can't sit up here and lie and say that, like, oh, I get through it. No, it's like a daily struggle. Like, I don't want to be like the one that pops off, blows up because something doesn't go right, or I'm feeling disrespected, which is very often. I think men treat us differently. I walked into rooms and they thought I was the assistant, and I'm like, no, baby.
Yeah,
I put on the event, and stuff like that. So just feeling disrespected and not them thinking that you're not what you are, and going to someone else or going through somebody else. So it's definitely an everyday
you have
struggle.
people choose to go through other people because you're a woman?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so, or they just don't think that I was the one to go through, or just because I was a female. And so working in a male-dominated industry is already tough. And then the stereotype, like I said. So I guess I think starting Sneaker Summit was a year ago, was like the perfect time. I think that people were really realizing, like, we are into sneakers. This isn't a front, like we don't buy them because of our boyfriends or our husbands or whatever. Like, I've been wearing sneakers since I was out the womb.
Yeah.
Like, my first pair of shoes were sneakers. It was never a front. And I still wear heels, absolutely, but like, I'm comfortable in sneakers. And it's not about height, it's not about being cool, like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
So it was comfortable. Like, I was like, this is an easy transition for me.
Yeah.
So, and then again, why not piggy? Well, I think I went back and forth with like starting my own thing or piggybacking off Sneaker Summit. And I had to talk with the CEO, and he was like, well, I don't want you to do your own thing. Necessarily, because you know, they want the point. And they see the potential. That's what I'm saying. They know women are about to take over. We've been the huge force in shopping, period. And I think this year, I forgot the exact statistic, but more women have bought sneakers than heels in the last 2 years. And so it's like important that they're realizing it. So yeah, I think it's an everyday struggle, but I think just going to these events, speaking about the story, saying we're here, throwing events. I like throwing women's sneaker events. I like throwing events that are regular events, but then throwing sneakers in there. Because it's definitely about, like, we can do whatever and then still wear sneakers. And
Exactly.
It's like, it's not necessarily
Get the job done.
right.
Yeah, exactly. And so you guys, you see, I'm asking extremely direct questions because I know these speakers. Like Klarke said in the beginning, we handpicked these speakers today, and I'm really passionate about sharing stories. So of course we're going to get into a lot of tips and tools, but I really want to go deep into the story. So April, I'm coming to you. And so I know that in November of 2018, you actually lost your job and had a difficult time finding a new opportunity. You were really going through a lot because you didn't want to move back with your parents, and a lot of things was happening. So tell us about that experience.
Yes, so November 2018, I was teaching 6th grade math, and the superintendent, it was a small district, and the superintendent basically was running everything. I'm a communicator, so I feel that if you communicate with me with respect, you know, you'll get it back. And she said something, you know how we say hood stuff professionally, I was very ill, and she just didn't show any type of remorse for me being ill. You're disrespectful and you're not blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to be respectful, but let her know kindly I'm ill, show some type of love. I'm here working for you, teaching your children, blah, blah, you know. And being that I was standing up for myself, she fired me. So that was November 18. I was still in Dallas, at home, y'all, depressed. My mom called me and was like, so what you doing? I was like, nothing, I'm just on the couch. She said, so come home. She was like, come home. She was like, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. You're gonna be in Dallas. somebody gonna call me and be like, get down on the floor when water. She's crying, so like, you know, I was just.
Was it pride stopping you?
It was definitely pride. I'm very, very proud for the way it's my mom's, I'm not gonna say it's her fault. She raised me to be very, very strong and figure it out, and you can do it type. So asking people for help is just like, like, since you're gonna figure it out, you're gonna find a way. But in this moment, since November to April, I definitely had no control. And just like you say, really, God put you in situations to where I have to show you something, and that was I'm gonna show you moment. Because in that I was like, I got this, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna kill it, and I got everything going, and he literally snatched everything that I was happy about, that I was into, that was going well for me, because he had a plan. It was totally bigger. So in that moment, it was just rebuilding. Rebuilding the confidence in myself, rebuilding my brand, rebuilding my business, getting to know myself more, like my worth, like what are you wanting to do, how are you going to do that, and I just spent a lot of that time just figuring myself out, because I am getting older, and there's a lot of transitioning happening. So I just feel like that was the moment for me to figure myself out, but also get closer to him as well, because I was just so, I got it and I can do it, but no, you need me. So it was one of those situations. So basically, he just wanted to strip me so I can figure it out and rebuild.
How many people here can relate to that? Have you ever gone through a situation where look the room out? Where you've gone through something and you completely have been at rock bottom because it was something else, and doesn't it suck? Because it's like, I think I'm doing it right. It completely is like the worst thing ever. But I know today you are the founder of Project B. So tell us about what that is.
So I get happy when I
as you should.
So Project B, I started Project B in college actually, 2016. It was a lot of girls on the campus just always asking, where did you get that from? Or who did your hair? Or who did your makeup? Oh, you look so cute, you look so pretty. Because I was very active on campus, Student Government Association. I had to wear heels all day, every day. You better not look busted on the campus.
Or you're gonna become a meme.
You know how HBCUs are. All right, I'll let her have it. Because you know how we just look at people like, she shouldn't have did that. And I'm just like, well, let's help her out. Let's help this out. So I was just that person to be like, can we just help her instead of looking at her crazy? My first event was basically me introducing Project B to the campus. Just letting them know I want to help you with your fashion, with your makeup, with your hair, so that when we have events on campus or you have to go somewhere, then you'll be able to do that, and I can help you figure it out if you just don't know. So that's basically how Project B started. And once I graduated in 2017 and instantly went into starting my master's in education, it took a different turn when I saw the things that children deal with on a daily basis. Children are battling mentally with a lot of things, depression and anxiety. My sixth graders that I lost my job from, they were cutting themselves. Social media bullying, of course boys, and this girl don't do it, but it hit deep when I saw cuts and bruises and things of that nature on their bodies, and I said, this is different. You know, we always said that kids aren't dealing with anything, but they really are dealing with some heavy things that you would never think that we would deal with growing up or whatever. I just took my opportunities in the classroom to use Project B as a way to encourage the students. Like, you don't have to worry about what she's saying, or don't get on social media trying to be like somebody else. Like, create your own idea of who you are, what you want to be, and do that. Like, go for that, because only you can do you. So it's just like, nobody can tell you how to do it, how
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned social media because I want to talk to you about that. So, you know, and I'm going to come to you too. You know, and you can chime in too on this question. You know, or anyone. So, you know, social media, you know, they have their own idea of what beauty is and beauty standards. How do you encourage your audience and just people, and how do you stand out in an industry that already pretty much says women should wear heels, or women should look like this, or women should dress like this? How do you basically stand out and still encourage people to just create their own wave ultimately?
I think it's a situation of just being like super realistic about the things that you deal with in your life. So when I actually just like relaunched Project Kween and started my website and my social media, I was huge on being realistic about the things that I experienced in my life. So I used my blog, the B blog, that's on my website, to basically just use opportunities to be transparent about the things that I go through. So when people read my blog, they're just like, oh, well, she looked like she's okay. She looks like her life is, you know, going amazing. She has a business, blah, blah, but you don't know what I'm experiencing in the background or behind the scenes or in my everyday life. So I just feel like it's a thing about just being realistic and putting that on the platform, like letting being your trials and tribulations being your, put it there. So I just tell people to just be realistic, like, just because she got this curly and her makeup popping and that earring is that's popping, you don't know what sis is going through.
Yeah, one thing I love about you, Nina, is that I watch you on Instagram and I see a lot of
my stories.
Yes.
That's where it gets real.
Yeah, and I was gonna say a lot of times, like you look fabulous right now. You look fabulous on your Instagram stories, but you don't always wear your makeup.
No, I'm just curious before I say this. Does anyone here follow me online? Anyone? Oh wow. Oh dear. Okay. So you know what it really is then. And I say that because this is a good question, and you're right about that. Because it actually, okay. So to put it out there, I'm actually an introvert. Yeah, I'm an introvert. I told myself on the way here, I was like, okay, we're gonna go and we're gonna chat. We're gonna make a conversation. Conversation. Okay, we're gonna smile. We don't want anybody to be like, oh, she had RBF. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So when I walked in, I met my girl right here. Ooh, oh, okay. Yeah. So I said, you know, we're gonna smile. We're gonna make friends. We're gonna, you know, because it could come off like very standoffish and like attitude-y. And you know, sis already said in Boston they have an attitude. I'm from Rhode Island. Hence the accent, right? Boston we say talk and coffee. Pop the top. Yeah. Coffee. So already it could come off like attitude-y, so I have to be mindful again. Back in the day, like if you thought I had an attitude, I was actually happy because it was like, yeah, don't try me, right? But now I'm like, no, I don't want to be like that. So I had to have a talk to myself, you know, when I come in, I gotta smile, let me, you know, because you can get comfortable and then come off very harsh. I don't ever want to do that. Like that's not my life anymore. So back to keeping it real. God is constantly convicting me to keep it real. So if you follow me, then you see my Insta stories, and it goes down in the stories. Like I do silly things, and I'll come on there with my head tie on. I'm from Ghana, I wear a wrap, so I have that on, or I might have just finished crying about something. I held an Instagram Live Bible study from January to April, and there were a lot of hiccups with that. We had lots of talks. I mean, it was serious. I revealed things that I never thought I would tell anybody because, sometimes it's hard to be vulnerable with folks you don't even know. I'm on Instagram Live and I have these women looking at me and listening to me, and it's like, I'm gonna tell you that I just cried my eyes out and almost wanted to end my life. How do I do that? I've never told anyone that. And actually, my sister was on that live, and so I was like, oh, here we go. She's gonna call me afterward. And sure enough, she did. She's a social worker, so she was like, wait, let's talk about this. And I'm like, oh, no, right now, I'm kind of tired, right? But that was the first time she had ever heard me say that. But God challenged me to keep it real.
And a lot of times, that's the only time family really hears, what you're going through, when you put it on a public platform. Because sometimes those are the hardest people to tell your story to.
I know, and that wasn't my intention at all, but there were so many hiccups with that. So all this to say that because I recognize how people feel when they see me, like I met my girl Catherine today, she follows me, and this is not anything against you, this happens, so it always challenges me to just like level myself down, because I don't consider myself a celebrity or someone to be like worshipped and all this stuff. So when I meet people in real life, I just try my hardest to just keep it real. So people are like, oh, you're so, you have so many followers, and I'm like, that don't matter, girl, what's going on?
Yeah.
You see, because I just want people to understand that I'm just like you. Whatever you're struggling with, either I've been there or I am right now. And so I try to be honest. It's scary because, again, this is 19,000 people around the world that I don't even know. So how do I keep it all the way real? But every day I'm challenging myself to come on there without makeup. Listen, let me tell you something right now. Last night, sis shaved her face. Do you hear me? Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? Listen, yes. Sis,